Hey guys, how is everybody doing? And continuing my Sean Connery 007 review series, here are my thoughts on Thunderball. When I was watching this movie, like the first 20-ish minutes, I was actually really enjoying it. I thought it was a really good movie. I was not a really good movie. I thought it was a good James Bond movie. I'm like, oh hey, the last one was pretty good. This one's going off pretty good. Maybe I'm on a hot streak. Maybe I found the Bond movies that I will actually like in the Sean Connery era. And then the rest of the movie decided to continue for another 2 hours. And, yeah, I was wrong. However, before I get into those reasons, here are my positives on Thunderball. And my first positive on this movie is I really like the opening of the movie. Now, it doesn't really have anything to do with the plot or anything that's going on in the movie, but it's kind of like the typical James Bond opening that we've kind of been getting in all these movies lately, where it kind of opens up with some sort of like fight sequence or action sequence going on, or James Bond doing James Bond things. And this movie just opens with him like at a funeral or whatever of like a colleague that that got killed in action, it seems, and he goes to this one place and he gets into this fight with these waiter or whatever that turns out to be a man. And the whole editing during that fight was weird. It's like they saw what was going on in Goldfinger and realizing how weird the fight sequence looked there, and they're like, oh, we should probably fix this. So they fixed it, but they just edited it like really fast. It was weird. But nevertheless, and then he escapes and he gets on a fucking jetpack of all things, which I did not expect to see at all in this movie. It was James Bond on a jetpack. And then he makes a daring escape from these guys, and then the movie continues. That was a pretty cool upward. I am tired. Excuse me. But that was a pretty good opening. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cool, fun way to open the movie, kind of grab your attention. A lot of James Bond movies nowadays do that, but to see Sean Connery kind of have that kind of opening, I really liked it. And this movie kind of does something different from the other movies, which I really liked. And it takes place underwater for majority. Like most of the action, most of the story, pretty much this whole movie takes place underwater. And I really enjoyed that because it was really different and unique, and kind of a change in pace and a change in scale, I guess you could say, for these movies and for James Bond, because we don't really get a lot of underwater action sequences in these movies, but yet again, there's a lot of them I haven't seen, so maybe I could be wrong. But going along with that, the underwater sequences I really enjoyed because it was like I said, it's kind of a change in pace and a change in direction. But I really liked it because it was just different, and when we're actually underwater, the camera work, the choreographing, from what it looks like, it was done very, very well, and it was also just really enjoyable, and it was also just visually beautiful, just seeing James Bond and all these other characters just underwater. You see like the fish. There's even a moment where he goes after this one girl and she's like riding on a turtle and everything. Like that was just really cool to see. And it looked like and I'm pretty sure those were like real animals. Like that turtle was a real animal, which they did a hell of a good job replicating a turtle if it wasn't real. But I really enjoyed it, and even towards the end, there's a pretty cool like action sequence where there's basically just a fucking water war going on, where they're throwing spears and shit at each other. It was goofy, but it was kind of badass. But I really like the underwater sequences. Most of the movie takes place underwater, anyways. But I really enjoyed them. I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was cool and just visually stunning. So I thought that was really cool and definitely and I'm sorry, I'm tired, and I definitely like the change. However, now moving on to my mixed aspects, and a lot like Goldfinger, with the character of Oddjob, I couldn't take him seriously because of Austin Powers. The main villain in this one being number two. I could take him less seriously because all I could picture was Austin Powers, which I talked about it in my Goldfinger review, and I'm basically just going to be repeating myself in this video. I could not take him seriously because all I could picture was the number two from Austin Powers.
Things here?
No,
Is
not
that
at all.
Huh? You want to be daddy? Is that it? Number two? You want to wear the daddy pants? Huh? You gonna cry?
Well,
You
I
gonna
don't
cry?
think so.
Huh? Huh? You gonna cry? You gonna cry? Huh?
What are you?
Huh? You're gonna squirt some? You gonna
really
cry?
don't think
Huh? Huh? Yeah, see, you're gonna cry, huh? You're a big man now, huh? Yeah.
And yet again, that is my fault because I watched Austin Powers first. I watched Austin Powers way before I saw any James Bond movies. And, that's when I kept hearing number two, and I saw that eye patch. I couldn't just help but think about the number two from Austin Powers. I could only see Rob Lowe. That's all I could see. And I just could not take him serious. However, I will give him credit where credit is due. He is a pretty okay villain throughout the movie. He does kind of add like this risk factor to it, which I thought was real. Which I kind of felt like there was more of a risk factor with him. So that was something that I definitely liked. So even though I couldn't really take him seriously, he did add somewhat of a risk factor throughout the whole film. And now moving on to my negatives. And my first negative is that this movie kind of takes more of a comedic route, it seems. There's a lot of moments where they kind of have like parody stuff, or they kind of just do a lot more comedical jokes for some weird reason. And hell, there's even moments where it doesn't even seem like the movie was trying to be funny, but it ended up being funny. And that really took away from my experience in the movie. Because there's like a moment where basically James Bond is trying to get tortured to death by like this guy tries to torture him to death, but he's on like a massage thing, but it's just jerking him back and forth, and I'm like, I just couldn't help but laugh at it because I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. And then even like the underwater sequences where they're just throwing spears and shit at each other, I could not laugh at that. Like that was just something that you could not laugh at. Like it was fucking hilarious. Like there's just so many moments where they tried to be funny, especially like it was more kind of in the beginning of the movie, but it was something I didn't like. I felt like it was just unnecessary. Yeah, some of these movies have been having those comedical like effects and kind of being kind of goofy, even intentionally and unintentionally. But this one, I really noticed it, and it was very apparent to where it kind of took away my experience from the movie, and it kind of just made me kind of groan at some of the jokes they were trying to make. And I have no idea what the fuck was going on during the filming process throughout these movies because these four movies were literally all released back to back to back, so they were all filmed at the same time, I'm assuming. But the one thing I'm wondering is how the fuck this wasn't the sequel to From Russia with Love. Because you watch From Russia with Love, it sets up number one as this villain, as this big bad who seems to be the true threat for James Bond or whatever. You set him up in From Russia with Love, and then we get to Goldfinger, and we basically just cut away from that, and we focus on this new villain, this whole new character, and then you come back to him in this movie. So where I'm wondering is why the fuck didn't Thunderball come after From Russia with Love? I genuinely had to look up if I had my release dates right and like, in order or whatever. And no, I was right. This movie came out after Goldfinger, which it should have came out after From Russia with Love if we're going to with the setup and the timeline shit. Because I'm watching, I'm like, why didn't this just come out after From Russia with Love? Because From Russia with Love sets up this character, sets up one, sets up two, or whatever the fuck their names are. It sets up these villains, but we don't get them until after Goldfinger. So I don't know what the fuck was going on there, and I was genuinely just confused. And this is my biggest gripe with this movie, and this is where I genuinely nearly fell asleep. All this fucking movie is running back and fucking forth, and oh my god, it is fucking nauseating. It genuinely infuriates me because I'm watching this movie and genuinely all it fucking was them running back and fucking forth. We're underwater. We're chasing fucking two or whatever the fuck his name is. And then we go back to the land and we do bullshit. Oh, we have sex. Oh, we do this. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go back underwater. Oh, no, let's come back out of the water. We're done with the water. And then we go back to the water. We come out of the water. We go back to the water. We go back. We go back and forth and back and forth. You know, like from fucking Ice Age? I go back and forth and back and forth.
Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until finally.
That's all this movie was, and oh my god. It was fucking nauseating and fucking infuriating because I'm watching this and I'm like, this movie is 2 hours fucking long. 2 hours long. Which sure are the other ones nearly 2 hours long? Yes. So maybe I shouldn't be too mad. But oh my fuck. It's 2 hours of running back and forth. And then when you are underwater, you're just doing the same shit you were doing earlier. I was genuinely just so fucking infuriated by that because I'm like, why the fuck did you make a 2 hour movie of them just running back and forth? Like, what the actual fuck? This could have been like a 40-minute movie, if I'm completely honest. The amount of fucking going back and forth, going back on the land to do some stupid side quest bullshit, and then going back underwater to do some other bullshit. Like, I genuinely was wondering what the fuck was the writing. The writing in this movie was terrible. Let's be honest here. If we're just going back and forth. And oh my god, dude. Like, even right now, I'm getting pissed. I could have been sleeping. I had a long day. But whatever. I think that light just died. No. All in all, guys, I did not like Thunderball. I was kind of, I didn't have I didn't have much expectations after Goldfinger. Even though I enjoyed Goldfinger, I didn't go into this movie thinking I would like it. The first 20 minutes had me thinking that, and then after a while, I was like, oh, we're just back to the same old shit. Just being boring. But I don't know. I didn't like this movie. I didn't really enjoy it at all. There was moments where I kind of enjoyed it, but there was also moments where I was genuinely on the verge of just stop watching the movie. I didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't like it. So what do you guys think about Thunderball? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you like this movie? Do you not like this movie? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. If you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for all of my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time.